The principles of art. We're going to be learning about pattern. Pattern refers to the repetition or reoccurrence of a design element, exact or varied, which establishes a visual beat. Ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-dum. Rhythm, movement. Rhythm or movement refers to the suggestion of motion through the use of various elements. Check this out. This is a still image and it looks like it's moving. This is really fun. Proportion, scale is another principle of art. We used proportion and scale to create our art chart last week. Proportion is the size relationship of parts to a whole and to one another. Scale refers to relating size to a constant, such as a human body. One of the favorite things I'm going to teach you is how to draw a portrait using the scale of an eye to the whole face. Did you know that the length of your eyeball is about the same in between your eyes? There you go. That's one way we use scale and proportion to relate parts of ourselves to ourselves. Balance. Balance is the impression of equilibrium in a pictorial or sculptural composition. Balance is often referred to as symmetrical. So my face, your face, almost everybody's faces are symmetrical. So if you were to take an imaginary line down the middle, this side and this side are about the same. Asymmetrical. So what is something in nature that is asymmetrical? In fact, most things in nature are symmetrical, and that's how we know that they are organic. You could say a good example of asymmetrical objects are trees, but did you know that a tree, the top is also a reflection of the bottom? So it's actually symmetrical. We just can't see the bottom part. But you're right, most trees, when we look at their branches, are going in lots of different directions. And if we were to split the tree trunk in the middle, you will see that one side is actually very different from the other side. So that's a good example of asymmetrical. Radial is another example of the impression of equilibrium. So let's say I was to take a scarf and swing it around and start dancing. That is radial, right? Because my balance is centered in the middle, and I'll take a scarf and rotate it, and that is radial. So it's coming from a central point. Unity. Unity is achieved when the components of a work of art are perceived as harmonious, giving the work a sense of completion. So unity is one of these things that it could be anything. It's really your opinion. But we use this principle of art when we look at colors, for example. If we want to create a design like I do in my homeroom slides of unity, I will limit the number of colors I use to 3 maximum, so that automatically when my eye looks at it, it creates a sense of unity. So we can use unity, a principle of art, with color, an element of art, and really create this illusion of harmony. Emphasis. Emphasis refers to the created center of interest, the place in an artwork where your eye first lands. So right now, I am right smack in the middle of the page. But if I am over here, you're still going to be focused on me because everything in this pictorial frame is pointing right at my face. We have our eyes, we have a mouth, we have a nose, we also have hair. We have a lot of smaller objects centered around here, right? And if I move over here, the emphasis has now moved to this side of the pictorial frame. So emphasis is an idea of where our eye goes in a pictorial frame. It could also be a sculpture. Here's a really great example of emphasis. Where does your eye go when you look at this? Is it where you expected it to go? So this is a tool that artists use in photography and in film to really center where the eye goes, okay? So emphasis is something that a lot of artists, filmmakers, photographers use to designate where the viewer's eye should go. We also see a lot of magicians do this, and they distract you by having animals doing things or people jumping or having an assistant that's very attractive so that the eye is going there, and meanwhile they're, switching things over here. And that is an example of emphasis.